Prior to the destruction of Jericho, the Israelites have to cross the Jordan River. This is a significant geographic marker that is also a theological marker, because what does that river symbolize? That river symbolizes the end, the passing through from 40 years of death and wandering and separation, which of course followed a generation of slavery. So this water source, this final obstacle, if you will, it's a rite of passage from an old way of living to a new way of living, an absence of God to the land of God. The Israelites, like many cultures of their day, believed that gods were localized, right? The Egyptian gods were the gods that resided in Egypt. And they believed that Yahweh resided in Canaan. So if you're not in Canaan, you're not with God. Right? This is why I keep saying that Canaan is kind of a metaphor for heaven. This is a very important river that symbolizes a lot. A cleansing of sin, if you will, a cleansing of alienation and wandering and confusion, from being lost to being found. Much like Moses, Joshua takes his staff, parts the water. He parts the Jordan, and they cross through. They cross through. Joshua, when they get to the other side, says we need to build a memorial so that we'll never forget this water passage. Fast forward to the New Testament. John the Baptist does not just pick the Jordan River because it's a convenient water source to do his baptisms. He picks the Jordan because of that symbolism. That is the river that separates you from sin and separation and alienation and just corruption to being in the land of God. But if you remember last season, John the Baptist was an Essene. He was part of the Essene community. They believed it was the reverse, that the city, the land, was actually corrupt and the desert was pure. That's why John the Baptist preaches out in the desert, prepare the way of the Lord. They believed the Messiah was going to arrive in the desert because it doesn't have that Roman contamination and filth associated with Jerusalem. So you have the same river, but John the Baptist reverses the descriptions of each. The desert is the land where it's clean, and the city is the land of sin. Nevertheless, the Jordan River is very significant when it comes to Judaism. And we still celebrate the concept today with our baptism that symbolizes a transition from being lost to found, from being separate from God to being now with God, from being in a hell to being in a heaven, in God's community.
Deep river, my home is over Jordan.